What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to you guys as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share it, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. And we appreciate your guys' support and getting it this far. Now, today, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by two icons in the game, Kool Ski, the Fat Boys, and Kokane. Thank you both for coming through.
Right on.
Thanks for having us, bro.
Yes, yes. So you guys recently put out the single Hush. Great song. We got a lot to talk about. So Kool Ski, for you, in the beginning of the video, we got the little section of you talking to the kid, telling the kid of hip hop being a freedom of expression. So I wanted to get from you, why was that an important way to start off the video for Hush?
Actually, that was Kokane's idea. That was a young man just hanging out in the park while we were shooting the video, and he was on his bike. And you know, everything just came into play. First of all, it was raining like crazy that day. And once we started the video, it stopped raining. And the little kid, it was appropriate that the little kid was there. I think he was like 10, 11 years old. And he was just riding his bike. And we asked, well, Kokane asked him to be in the video. We gave him some little, like a script almost, kind of to follow. And we that's like kind of off the top of the dome with us. We just kind of freestyle that. So me just saying hip hop is a form of expression. I mean, everybody knows that who's into hip hop. You know, it's a form of expression. But I mean, what I mean by that nowadays is that we express ourselves within the music. And we hope in a positive way, where you see guys like us and Kokane and the forefathers that started this whole movement called hip hop. You express yourself in a positive way. That's what hip hop is all about: partying, having fun, and being socially conscious. But we kind of got away from that. That's why I said hip hop is a freedom of expression. We don't have to express ourselves with gun violence and, you know, the N-word and, you know, derogatory lyrics towards women. But we can express ourselves as bringing exposure to what's going on in our communities and just us having a good time. You know what I mean? So it's a freedom of expression. So if you want to get on stage and, you know, damn near naked, you know, that's the physical form of expression. But if you have something to say while you're damn near naked, you know, that's a form of expression, something that's going to take away from the way you look. You know what I mean? There was a time in hip hop when they started having background dancers. And somebody once told me the reason why they have background dancers was because some of the shows were so boring that you needed something else to look at from the artist. You understand what I'm saying? So, and there was, and if you look at, when I say form of freedom of expression or form of expression, I think the best form of expression to me when it came down to hip hop was Public Enemy. You looked at Chuck D's message, and it was so powerful. But, and I'm trying to be disrespectful to Flavor Flav, but the court gesture was Flavor Flav. So whatever message Chuck D was getting out there, and people were shocked by it, like, damn, this is the new Black Panthers. Flavor Flav had a way of pulling you in and going, oh, they're not that serious. This guy's over here being a maniac. You know what I mean? So that was like the greatest form of expression when it came to and getting your message across was when I saw Public Enemy and how they did it. You know, to this day, it was brilliant. You know, just bringing in Flavor Flav and being that comic relief, so to speak, while Chuck D gets the message across. You understand what I'm saying? Because if not, they would have been like an X-Clan. And X-Clan was Public Enemy on crack. You know what I'm saying? Like they was Public Enemy pretty much on steroids. You know what I mean? Like that was some powerful shit they were doing. So freedom of expression, that's what hip hop is all about, man. And that's why I brought that to the forefront in the video and telling the little child that, the little kid, the little young boy. So, you know, like I said, it was off the cuff. It wasn't nothing scripted. Okay. We just, Kokane just put that in there and we just ran with it, you know.
Okay. And then on the chorus of Hush, you guys have all the scratches making me itch, world famous Supreme Team, and all that. So where did you guys, what made you want to incorporate that into the single?
Well, when I first received the beat, you know, I was thinking, and that's crazy and ironic, but when the stars and universes lined up, it's lined up because I wanted to have a different approach to the new Kokane project, really dabble into the elements of my roots. You know, since I'm a West Coast pioneer, but born from the soil where hip hop began, I really wanted to really go there. So I was flipping through my stuff and I came across an interview that you did, Soren Baker, with Kool Rock. And it just so happened and you know, I was drawn in and intrigued by the whole thing. And, you know, that's my thing as an artist. You know, you grow up off people, you grow up off your parliaments, your Udinis, your fat boys, and it's just a blessing to be able to not so much have a bucket list, but being able to work with these cats that actually influenced you. You know, the fat boys influenced me. You know what I mean? And once I told Chill, I said, I want you to come up with the beat, the old jailhouse rap, because that'll be dope if we flip it. And I want to present it first to my mans in them so he'll see what he say. So he sent me the beat, and I shot the kite or sent the message to Brother Kool Rock Ski. And he was like, man, you know, and I was surprised. You know, I was surprised he knew who I was. You know, being
Oh
honest.
shit!
I'm just
Everybody
keeping
knows.
I'm keeping it brutally honest though, you know. But
Yeah.
we just we just connected, shot him the beat, and he was like, yeah, this shit is dope. This shit is dope. Because I wanted to also have that type of Malcolm McLaren and that type of, you know, that dum dum dum, that brother, one of the
Yeah.
great quotes in the world was brother stick 'em, ha ha ha, stick 'em. You know what I'm saying? We done played that so much on the West Coast. It was incredible. So it had all the elements in there, and but it was simple. And when he put his verse on there, man, it's like that's a rarity because a lot of groups from our era, once they try to come back or rebound, it sounds a little bit different. Not to say it ain't cool, but it's like he stepped off the plane, you know what I'm saying, from those years and era, and it's just like he never missed a beat, man. This is Kool Rock Ski. This is Marky D, this Buff, but this Kool Rock Ski from the legendary group, the Fat Boys. If it had not been for them, where would hip hop be? You know, because you know, these guys elevated to the whole masses. Man, they brung the awareness of hip hop, and the reason why these dudes are so significant to me is the simple fact that, you know, you see your Ice Cube movies, you see all these movies, but none of that wouldn't have been brought about if you didn't see your Crush Grooves, your Disorderlies, and etc.
Yeah.
So it was much more of an honor, not just to say I got a record, because I got more records than anybody. You
Right.
know, that's
Exactly.
cool and all, you know what I mean? But I set him in the standard of working with your George Clinton, your Bootsy Collins, and your Cameo. That's how I see Brother Kool Rock Ski and the rest of the brothers that are not here. You know, so you know, we went out there, filmed the video, and I'm telling you, man, you know, the universe was with us. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say something supernatural happened, but it was like a baby flood out there, literally.
Yeah.
And every time we stopped, it stopped raining. And then all of a sudden, there's so many people in Times Square. What is the
Yeah.
odds of us bumping in the trench? I'm going to use the bathroom to take a piss. I said, hold on. And then I had cocaine on the back of my jacket. And some dude came up to me with a mask on. So I thought I had to get in. I'm like, what? And then Tretch pulled off that shit. And I'm like, my nigga. I pulled him over there, you know, to see, you know, let him see his OG. And it was just beautiful, man. The essence was beautiful. And then
Yeah.
people start coming around, and everything that happened with that particular video, down to the song, down to how we linked in, even all the way to watching ear hustling on the interview y'all had, it just worked organically, fam. And we
Yeah.
came up with a successful song that is really creeping and it's touching people. You know what I'm saying? Not just from our era, but it's a blessing to see the youngsters be like, God dang, man, that shit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about Tretch. That's crazy. He just happened to be there. But the other thing that I love about Hush is there's so many references, and you guys are bringing it all current. So Kool Rock Ski, like having the Slick Rick references in there.
Right.
You got Big Daddy Kane in there. You got so many. Just Rhyming with the Biz, got a shout out. That's an amazing song.
Right.
So of course the Slick Rick Lottie Dottie is a little more known, but what made you want to pull from Just Rhyming with the Biz with Big Daddy Kane?
I always liked that verse. Mr. Kane in the flesh, of course I'm fresh. I thought that was right in her very part. And it just fitted appropriate. You know, east to the west, of course, we're fresh. Well, you thought that we were rotten, I beg your pardon. So you take it back to 1988 when that song pretty much came out. Was it 87 or 88? I'm going to say late 87 when that song came out. So you got to take it back to that era and people knowing those lyrics. If you're a real hip hop fan, that was Kane's first time pretty much on wax, rhyming with the biz. And, you know, it sounded like a demo. So it sounded like a demo. So when we heard it on the radio, I mean, I heard it like maybe weeks before it even came out, but hearing it on the radio, it sounded like a demo. And Kane was just as raw as he can be, as raw as the song he made, I Get Raw. So it was him just having the, what do you call it, the metaphors and the punchlines. So I just took that and I just ran with it. Fresh, dressed like $1,000,000. I walked up in New York, you know, I walked around New York with the jewelry untucked. You know, I had a rhyme, you know, just like that, fresh, dressed like $1,000,000. I walked up in the club like I don't give a fuck, you know, but I switched around, walked around New York with the jewelry untucked. And anybody who knew me back then, that's where it was. It's like, you know, when you're young, you're fearless. That's why I had that rhyme back in the day. I walked around New York with my jewelry untucked. Like, who the fuck would have, who wanted with me kind of attitude, you know what I'm saying? And you out of your mind if you ever try to stick them. Because at the time, yeah, you know, you had a lot of cats around. You know, who gonna try? He had like about 50 cats around. Everybody gonna try to stick him. So, you know, that's just braggadocious back in the day, youthful talk. I wouldn't do that shit now. You know what I'm saying? I'd be out of my dead mind. But, you know, but at the same time, at my age, I wouldn't be walking around with a bunch of jewelry on my neck. So I just took it back to the day with the rhyme, you know, that kind of stuff. And too old to be rapping, that's truly absurd. It speaks for itself. You know, everybody's, if you're 40 and over, you're an old man rapping. So I'm saying, like, you're too old to be rapping, that's truly absurd. This is music. There's no age limit on music. You can do music. You can rock on stage. You're damn near 90, 100 years old if you choose to. It's music. You know what I'm saying? You're not, like Kokane said, you're not going to pull a hamstring. You know, you're not going to tear an Achilles by being on stage doing music. You know what I'm saying? So you're never too old to do music, except when it comes to hip hop. You got to be like 17 to 22, which is BS. You know, you can be whatever age you are to do music.
Yeah.
So if you want to call rap music, it's music. So you can do music as long as you want. Frank Sinatra was what, 86? Reading off a teleprompter, still performing. Nobody said nothing about that, you know. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
And in addition to Kool Rock Ski's lyrical things, Kokane, I wanted you to talk about because Kool Rock Ski and I talked at length about Curtis Blow, but I was glad Kokane, you had shouted him out in the song Hush. So what made you reference Curtis Blow specifically?
I had a chance to build with him because he's also on my upcoming album. And, you know, I had a chance to fellowship, hear his incredible testimony, you know. And, you know, he's like my reverend now, you know, and that's a blessing because he was like the Dr. J of the game. You know, he was, you know, back when the ABA was really cracking, he was that guy, you know, and him, he really set a lot of people up, man, to incredible epic things, man. So it's for us, man, because we come from the era where you cannot have your elbows on the table. You got to give love to pave the way. And that's why those bullet points that we we reference into the songs is so important, because a lot of times you got to realize, being over four decades, generations, things get lost in the shuffle, and things get misinterpreted, and things get turned around and rewrite history. And us as a culture, one thing that hip hop defined is that it was the most boldest type of music ever,
Yeah.
because it was really mostly community based and things of that nature. So like when you hear them, how you love hip hop. Now you see a bunch of kids running around hip hop, and it's so good that we still see it continue, but you cannot come to the conclusion where you create your own history, because history is based upon real facts, not history.
Right.
Also, saying how you love hip hop, you don't know Kool Herc, Curtis
Right.
Blow, just the elements. It really hit home, and we didn't anticipate, things starting to revert back to the hip hop, to the authenticity of hip hop, substance, bars, storytelling. And it's just ironic when you see the verses that really is kind to help that rebound. People are really getting back worldwide on that hip hop tip. And we just happen to do the record according to the stars lined up right on time.
Right.
Now, Australia's on it, Japan on it. And we going back to the original elements prior to the corporate greed, to where this independent and autonomy that we have is really tapping back into the culture from which it started, period.
Right.
Yeah, and building
That's
on
a good thing.
yeah, building on that point, Kokane, Kurakski, I thought was great that you also mentioned Grand Wizard Theodore. Who
Yeah.
I had the
Yeah.
honor of interviewing him for Unique Access recently, but just giving him a shout out, I was like, man, this is a great thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just saying the name, I know it's kind of, I don't mean to get, I don't want to bring it up the way I'm going to bring it up, but it's kind of controversial to see the name Africa Bambaataa. So, but if anybody knows about maybe 1982, 83, and early 84, Africa Bambaataa used to rock at the Roxy with Jazzy J. That's why I say Africa Bambaataa at the Roxy. So I'm taking it back to the days of the Roxy, where Roxy used to be rocking on a Friday and Saturday, even sometimes on a Sunday. But of course, Grand Wizard Theodore, fantastic Romantic 5 MCs, the first person to start scratching, first DJ to start scratching. A lot of people think it's Grandmaster Flash, but it's really Grand Wizard Theodore. And I just had to throw that name in there because I always had so much respect for the fantastic Romantic 5. They're probably one of my favorite rap groups, along with Cold Crush, of course. I used to love to hear the tapes of them just battling all the time, and Prince Whip a Whip and Dada Rock, may he rest in peace. And of course, Theodore, when you listen to the Wild Style soundtrack, and what's fantastic 5 MCs, and they have the song, the beat that they have throughout for all the MCs to rap to. He just flipped it the way he wanted to flip it, where he was just cutting back and forth with you know what I'm saying? And that's just when I first heard that album, I was just like, I've already heard the song that got me really into hip hop was Treacherous Heartbeat. But when I heard the Wild Style soundtrack, I was just like, there was no turning back for me after that. I was just sold on it. I'm like, this is what I want to do. You know what I mean? And so I just gave a shout out to Grand Wizard Theodore. He's like one of my favorite DJs coming up. You know what I mean? So I had to put that in there.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So with Hush, are you guys like, what else? Hopefully, you guys will be doing some more stuff together. Have you guys talked about what the next steps are for you guys collaboratively?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, tell him about it, Kokane. We got the project coming up, but he can tell you more about it.
Yeah, we got something coming out sometime in 2022. We put the EP together, and it's gonna have those same elements. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 70s and 80s hip hop. It ain't gonna miss a beat. You know what I mean? And he's been working on some big things, man, for the culture, for the brand. since our dear beloved brothers have passed on. He has a documentary coming out. So we kind of piggybacking some things off that with whatever the universe is bringing to the table, because it's just like Eazy-E. I say it on this side. Eazy-E should have been had a Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? The Fat Boys deserve that too. And not just to say, you know, in an arrogant way, because me and Kool talk about it all the time. Like, this is really for the culture, man, because if you understand the past, your future is going to be bright. And if you earn your stripes and you did exactly what you were supposed to do, sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. I'm not going to say it's just favoritism, but a lot of times it is. But it's us as a culture that loves it. It transcended all ethnicities, tapped into different other nations. And these gentlemen right here were definitely a staple of those things being used, you know, to when you look back years later, Soren is just mind blowing, homie. You know what I'm saying? So in 2022, stay tuned. You know, we can show you better, we can tell you, and we don't want to put everything out there. There's a lot of wolves and ear hustlers.
Yeah.
But it's something magical that's going to happen through this connection. And it just, like if you go on my page, I had a discussion with him, and the discussion was incredible because this video is just not a particular video just pertaining, okay, we did a video. No, we actually went to the soil, went to their high school, went to their neighborhoods, real intimate conversation, but most importantly, showing that, hey, man, this guy is still out here. He's looking sharp. You know, he used to have all that weight, but he done lost all that weight. He's still looking good, skin looking
Oh,
good, he
man.
talking good. You know what I'm saying? And that was a lesson for me because it gives me a chance, you know, when I brung my twins out there and he had a chance to, you know, talk to my kids and for me to be able to actually show them, you know what I'm saying, at their young age, and let them know that they can take it in a way that we took it to transcend. So it's just a beautiful thing that that I was on that internet ear hustling on your interview, Soren Baker with the because you know there's nothing that's coincidental. I don't believe things either was supposed to happen or they wasn't. You know, and we didn't have to force shit for this to happen, man. It's like, man, this shit's right, homie. Plain and simple.
Well, I'm glad I was able to play a small part in this. So thank you all for making this music.
Absolutely.
Hey, let me just add something to the brother Kokane, his twins. On the set in Manhattan, I had a individual with me by the name of Irv. Kokane met Irv.
Shout out to Irv.
We was talking. We had went to the side and we was talking. And I told Irv, I'm like, yo, this is the greatest illustration of a father and son. I said, yo, his sons are like, you know, this is what you want out of your kids, like well behaved, like just gentlemen. And he's taken his sons on these trips with him and they follow in his footsteps. I mean, this is what you want to see out of a father and son relationship. This is what it's all about. You know what I mean? I don't have kids, but if I did, this is how I want my sons to be. This is how I would pattern my sons after the way he raised his children. You know what I mean? And it was just a beautiful thing to see that. I mean, these twins were well behaved, and I was talking to them, and I'm just looking at them like, damn, like these are some well behaved young men. Because so many times society, especially here in America, is putting down the fathers in black, you know, in black families. Like the father's not there. Most guys or most rappers or athletes, my father was never there. But that's not true. You're only hearing one story. You're not hearing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 stories about fathers who weren't in the household. You understand what I'm saying? My father was in the household. Buck's father was in the household. But my father and Buff's father was a father to all the kids in the neighborhood. You understand? So just to see something like that and the way he raised his children, man, it's just a beautiful thing. Just a real beautiful thing. And these are some smart individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're smart, well behaved. They got mad respect for the elders, that kind of stuff. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I like that. Yeah.
Well,
that's a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, Kokane Kool, I really appreciate you guys coming through to discuss Hush, and looking forward to see what you guys got coming up next.
Definitely.
Yeah, sound like a plan. You can go up on the YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe. You know, we got them numbers going up. But a lot of people asking, is it on iTunes, Amazon? It's not on there. Eventually, we'll get it on there. But as an independent, you know, we back to the Crush Groove again. You got to go to my site at www.buddyboymusic.com. Make sure you share the link for me, little bro. And that's www.buddyboymusic.com. The single is there. A lot of people is paying attention to this record. It's a feel-good record, and it's representing the culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's also continuing on a royal legacy that the Disco 3, aka the Fat Boys, created. So as a legend myself, I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm honored, you know, and that's what the beautiful thing about this record, this whole Get Down and whatever else has been become projects, is that it's integrity and it's honor into the mix. So we appreciate you, Soren, always being a pillar yourself and basically an encyclopedia of hip hop. And we love it. We love you, homie, and continue the good work and success on your books. I know you got the history of gangster rap. I know you also got the Gucci Man paperback came out. So from my family to your family, man, thank you for supporting us. And that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Same here, brother.
Yes, yes. Well, thank y'all both. I really appreciate it. And it's always great speaking with you.
Thanks for having us, man.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Yo MTV back with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.